Hi, my name is Cristóbal Lisier. The purpose of this video is an assignment of English 110, and it is to express and reflect on my experience at Purdue University this first semester. I am a Peruvian student planning to study industrial engineering. So, overall, in this video, I will talk about the steps on culture shock, a concept seen in class, and how it has been for me in each particular step. It consists on 4 steps: honeymoon, anxiety, adjustment, and acceptance. Hope you like the video. So the first step, honeymoon. Getting somewhere new for the first time of my life was a ride of excitement as well as fear. At first, speaking English with people, going to a dining court to have lunch and dinner, being by yourself, and being completely independent were just a feel of happiness. However, as time passed, this turned to something boring, and at the same time, it was the reason for why I felt anxiety, which is the second step for culture shock. So, anxiety. Well, I think this is the longest and hardest part of the cultural shock process. For anxiety, I will talk about both cultural challenges and language challenges I confronted being here at Purdue. At first, I would make reference to Journal 6. In Journal 6, I noticed some things that I wrote that seemed to make me happy. However, as time passed, they were the totally opposite. They started to make me sad. The first time I felt impacted by cultural shock is a sense that I didn't know how to relate with other people that didn't share a common culture with me. People from other parts than South America or Central America. This in a sense made me frustrated given that I didn't know how to connect with other people and make new friends, given that I didn't know what to talk to them about and how we could be connected in a way. Another cultural challenge was the social life in general and the lifestyle of people. I wasn't used to eating hours neither to a type of social activities that were experienced in Purdue. At first, it was difficult for me to adapt to going to play bowling at Friday's night and having lunch at 12 p.m. But as time went by, the natural genes helped me adapt to this situation. I might relate this experience to the cultural iceberg, which was introduced by the course reader. The cultural iceberg makes reference to the idea that there's certain things you can see as an external viewer from a culture, and there's other things you start noticing once you actually live there. So, living here allowed me to see certain details that I wasn't aware and wasn't expecting as an international that I had to adapt as time went by. Another cultural challenge that I might have confronted is the idea of the weather and the conditions that we are exposed to. These were a limiting factor in terms of what I could do practice in sports and how I had to dress, which were obviously something different than what I was used to in Lima, Peru. This, even though it wasn't a huge influence in how I felt, I started noticing a certain effect on this in my life because I wasn't used to it and it was another thing I had to adapt to. In terms of language challenges, I was kind of used to speaking English in a daily basis. Therefore, it wasn't a big challenge, the fact of speaking English to communicate with others. In terms of the language and speaking English on a daily basis, I did not experience a big challenge, given that I have been in an American school all my childhood and speaking English frequently did not approach me as strong as it did others. Still, one big challenge was getting to apply my English to a social context. I think this was a challenge because the dialect and slang was something totally new for me, given that I didn't apply it in my daily basis back when I lived in Peru. For example, sometimes when speaking with people, I did not understand some things they said due to the language selection they made. Therefore, I felt as an outsider of the conversation for a moment. This, in a sense, made me feel stressed and unhappy, given that I felt that I wouldn't be able to relate with American people or people that spoke English in my whole experience at Purdue, but I think that as time went by, things started to be better. Another challenge that might have affected me indirectly in terms of language is the idea that I didn't find the right word and right sentence structure to communicate certain thoughts. Even though my English is somewhat advanced, I may say that sometimes trying to express a certain thought and making it frequent and fluid was hard for me. This, in a sense, started to make me more introvert, given that I was afraid of sharing ideas and applying my English with other people. So, adjustment. In this part of the process of the cultural shock, it's where you start adapting to the society and the different context you're placed in this case, Purdue. The cultural challenges I experienced at the start of the semester started to diminish with the pass of time. I was able to adapt to different friendship relationships and how to relate with these people. Moreover, my body started to adapt to the weather and food timings, which is, I think, part of the human nature and the fact of adaptation. In terms of language challenges, time has helped me understand more of the English language. Talking with people every day and relating with people even though I don't want to helped me understand more of the English language, and how I could apply it in a social context when relating with other people. In terms of academics, being able to manage my time and my energy is another big achievement I have had this semester that helped me in adaptation. Throughout my experience at Purdue, I have been able to understand how crucial it is to manage your energy levels when doing assignments. This course, in a specific, has made me conscious that my maximum productivity level during the day is before 9 p.m. Therefore, I have been able to assign and do my work before that time so that I'm the most productive and finish things faster and in the best way. In terms of time management, I have been able to start assigning each homework a specific time to get it done, so that this way I am productive with the homework and try to finish it within a time lapse and don't take more than the time I've assigned. I have also been able to weigh each assignment to see which one is more important and therefore give it more time if necessary. This is part of a concept that the course reader taught us, which has helped me become a better student and at the same time adapt better to Purdue, given that my time is well managed and I have time to do other things as well, apart from academics. So acceptance, this is the last step of the cultural shock. In this stage, you don't accept to a full extent the fact of living in a new culture, but you understand what it takes to be part of this new culture. Overall, this semester has taught me several things. I have been able to analyze and decide what requires a student at Purdue to be successful. I have been able to learn from my mistakes as well as from the things I did well to apply them for the next semester and be a better student. The Eisenhower decision matrix is something that helped me reach this step. It helped me assign the importance each assignment required and therefore manage my time wisely in a sense that I could have social life, academic life, and do sports all at the same time without having to procrastinate or have a hard time at Purdue. Overall this semester I have also been able to learn about stereotyping and assumptions. I have been able to learn that stereotypes and assumptions are something that limit yourself to new relationships because you have a prior judgment that might not be true that sometimes limits you to establish relationships. Overall, I think this first semester has helped me a lot in terms of an individual to learn from my mistakes and become a better student for upcoming years.